Hey guys, it's Rebel95 recording live from the local county prison cell, and today I am going to be doing a fight that is pretty much just a shameless rehashing of another fight, except it's completely different. Tails Luigi much. Yeah, this is gonna be Skeletor versus Mumm Ra. Now, this fight is, completely different from He-Man versus Lion-O, obviously, but yeah, but they didn't just coincidentally put them together. It is because of He-Man versus Lion-O. So, yeah. Now, for analysis' sake, it's gonna take Skeletor really doesn't have any specific powers that he can use. Like, he has things he has done, but I don't really think there's any specific limitations. Like, I think it's just magic, whatever the fuck he wants to do. It's that old comic book saying, it's magic, I don't have to explain it. Now, if this were like Hordak or something, he has specific things that he can do. Skeletor, no. Skeletor is just like lasers, magic, whatever the hell he wants to pull out at that moment. Unless you count that shitty remake show in 2001, where he, got his face melted and shit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move on to Mumm Ra. I can tell already this is gonna be a really short video unless I just improvise. Mumm Ra, dead mummy guy, plotting. He's a very good planner, actually. Yeah, he's a very, in-depth, I don't want to say tactician, but sort of, yeah. But he has the power to back it up because, in every episode, we got the ancient spirits of evil turn this decrepit form to Mumm Ra, the ever-living. Rah, 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 rah. Yeah, oh, fuck. I'm sorry, you guys can say whatever you want about character or whatever you want about plot development, but Thundercats was 10 times the show He-Man was. He-Man, in terms of, not what they can do, but in terms of just how cool they are, He-Man is a bitch compared to Lion-O. I mean, come on. Yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Mumm Ra, like I said, when he does that, when he turns into Mumm Ra the Ever-Living, gets a huge-ass power boost, comes up. Bulked up motherfucker. He can still use magic and shit, black magic, all that, ancient, fucking, necromancy and all that. But he gets, enough power to punch through trees and shit, and enough power to, crack open the ground with a stone. He becomes like the Hulk, pretty much. The Hulk with, he becomes the Hulk with, magic and mummy skin. He becomes that one guy from Mummies Alive, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, oh shit, Mummies Alive. Anyway, yeah. But in terms of who would win, you pretty much got magic that can do whatever versus magic that can do whatever and is really strong. Because Skeletor's is just called magic or sorcery, it can pretty much do whatever it wants. But because Mumm Ra's magic is called, black magic, necromancy, all this shit, that you want, it's pretty much, it's got a couple more parameters, a few more boundaries than Skeletor's magic. We do know Skeletor can shoot lasers, and he does have combat prowess with that staff, And he was able to banish Hordak into a null dimension. So there's that. I mean, that would, I guess, take some specific type of magic. In terms of a fight, yeah, I feel like these two would just get jealous and then fight each other. But if I want to say just because not Hordak, just because Mumm Ra does have that, physical strength and durability that we've seen him use, and assuming his magic is at least somewhere near Skeletor's, he'd be able to handle Skeletor's magic. Yeah, I'd assume from that Mumm Ra would be able to, he'd be able to handle Skeletor's magic long enough to pretty much rip him in half with that super fucking strength he's got. Plus, wasn't Mumm Ra able to, like, summon snakes or something from his hands, or... I'm not thinking of King Hiss, but I know I'm thinking of Mumm Ra, but wasn't he... I'm pretty sure Mumm Ra was able to, like, shoot snakes out of his hands at one point, so... Yeah, I guess that might... Yeah, that would probably come in handy. Well, against somebody who is pretty much a skull. I don't know, a snake bite to the neck wouldn't really work if there's no flesh or veins. I mean, just a fucking vertebrae wouldn't really do much. In turn, like, this is hard to do, because with He-Man Lion-O, they have certain things that they've done. They have specific weaponry, specific, amounts of strength and weakness. But their villains pretty much say, hey, do this. First of all, their villains use a lot of henchmen, so half the time we don't even see them. Second of all, most of the time we see, Mumm Ra fight Lion-O for like a minute, and then something happens, I mean, we've never really seen Mumm Ra use a lot of magic. We've never seen Skeletor use anything but magic. I mean, how would you... It's hard to do. It's hard to think of how this fight would go. I want to say Mumm Ra. In terms of complete analysis, I want to say Mumm Ra. I'm trying not to pretend like it would be Mumm Ra just to pay back for the He-Man fight. I don't roll that way. I don't do that. And it's not even like I care enough about the fight in general to want that to happen so much. So, I'm gonna say Mumm Ra just because I'm guessing his magic could at least counter some, if not most, of Skeletor's magic, so that he could survive long enough to kick the shit out of Skeletor. Other than that, I really have no way of determining how this fight would go. Anyway, this is Verbal Legend 95. See ya.